Hello, good morning. Today is Saturday, August 15th, and we are in the Gospel of John, chapter 8. So let's dig in. We have the familiar story of the woman caught in adultery, one that's not corroborated by the Synoptic Gospels. It is a exclusive story to John's Gospel, not uncommon for John's Gospel to have exclusive stories. The woman is caught in the act of adultery, and the scribes and Pharisees who had been testing him in the previous chapter bring her to him because they wanted to test him. They wanted to have a reason to arrest him. And they wanted to catch him in something terrible and nefarious. And so they bring this woman caught in adultery to Jesus. We know what happens in the story, but I'll just give you a synopsis of it. He bends over and writes in the sand. He stands up. He says to them, "Any one of you who has no sin may cast the first stone." And then he bends over and writes in the sand again. And eventually, they all leave the scene. They don't flee, they just sort of slowly, in my imagination, drop their stones and go on their merry way. But Jesus, they went away one by one. That's what it says. That's where I get that image from, that they're going away like that. They went away one by one. And Jesus, after he straightened up again, he'd been writing in sand, straightened up again when they're leaving, and he says, "Woman, where are they? Is there no one to condemn you?" And she says, "No one, sir." And he says, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Him writing in the sand and bending over and writing in the ground signals his disengagement from this conversation. I mean, please, Jesus don't have the time to deal with these people bringing this woman. He disengages from their attempts to create some kind of scenario. Only in John's Gospel is this story here. But what is missing from this story? Well, what's missing from this story is that these people bringing this woman to Jesus are not following the law, because in order to have this kind of death penalty trial, if you will, you have to have witnesses. And they fail to bring those witnesses. And that may be part of the trap that they're trying to set for Jesus in this part. But that's what's missing. There's no witnesses, and they should have witnesses brought in to testify that this woman was indeed caught in adultery. They just claim that when they bring her forward for the trial. It's a quick, trial that happens on the side of the road there, the pile of stones. And then Jesus goes on to talk a little bit more about what testimony means and what it means to have a witness in the world and be a witness. And John's Gospel proves Jesus' identity by these I am statements. So he says first, "I am the light of the world." I say, "Light of the world, shine on me." I am the light of the world. And when he says the term I am, it should be translated to the original I am from the Hebrew scriptures, where Moses asks God, "What can I call you?" And God says, "I am who I am." And that's the name for God, is I am that I am because I am who I am. And so this I am statement is a echoing back, a call back to that kind of language about identity of who Jesus is. Jesus is part of the I am. And he keeps reiterating that in the rest of chapter 8. I am he who sent me. We are one. They're the same. And am the truth, and the truth will set you free. So Jesus says to the Jews, if you continue in my word and are truly my disciples, and then you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So that is in the Bible. There's a lot of things people attribute to the Bible, like heaven helps those that help themselves. It's not in there. But it is in the truth will set you free, is what Jesus says to them. And then they argue with them, like, we're not slaves, we're free. Why do we need to be set free? And he says, you need to be set free from sin. Anyone who sins is a slave to sin. So you are enslaved. And they argue back and forth about being sons of Abraham. And he tells them, if you were really sons of Abraham, you would know who I was. If you were really listening to the prophets, you would know who I am. And then they're like, are you greater than Abraham? Are you greater than the prophets? And the answer is, well, yes. Yeah. So they're trying to catch him in something, and he's like, well, yeah, I am. Again, I am. And he says to them, your father is the devil, and my father is I am. You know, he just says, you know, your father is the devil, the murderer, the liar, and your father is not from God, and my father is God. And then they say to him, you're a Samaritan and you have a demon. You're a Samaritan? Really? Is that the best you got? In our thinking nowadays, Samaritan is a good thing. You know, oh, what a good Samaritan. But in those days, nobody wanted to be a Samaritan, right? A woman went to the well in the heat of the day because she was the worst among the Samaritans there. And Jesus pulls aside Samaritans a lot and uses them in his parables and in other places. Picks up that, you know, the one leper that thanks him happens to be the Samaritan one. You know, it's something that it's part of Jesus' rhetoric to bring the Samaritans from the periphery into the center, like other groups as well. And so he doesn't deny being a Samaritan, because I think he's with those guys, right? But he does deny that he has a demon. And then at the end of this chapter, they take a shot at him. They try to stone him. They started out trying to stone the woman, seeing what he'd do. And then they pick up stones and they try to kill him, but he hid from them. Protected himself, and he got away. Because it wasn't his time yet. And John will tell you that. It's not his time yet. Give him some room. Give him some space. So, boy, it ends kind of in violence. So I'm hoping you carry the other message of Jesus says, I am the light of the world, and the truth will set you free with you. Not the stoning on either end of this chapter 8 in the Gospel of John. God bless you.